In collaboration with WTJX, the League of Women Voters of the Virgin Islands is pleased to present one-on-one interviews with candidates for the 7th legislative seat in the Virgin Islands from the St. Thomas-St. John district. All candidates were contacted and invited to participate. 4 either declined or did not respond to our invitation. I'm Gwenwyn Marie Molinar of the League of Women Voters, and today we are very pleased to have Mr. Randolph Thomas for an interview. Welcome, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you very much.
Please begin by introducing yourself.
I'm very pleased to be here with you, Dr. Molinar.
Thank you.
My name is Randolph Thomas, and I'm married to Janelle Thomas. Together, we have 4 children, Nkosi, Sadio, Micah, and Malachi. I attended Wayne Aspinall Junior High School and graduated from Charlotte Mali High in 1977. I attended the University of the Virgin Islands. At the time, it was CVI, and focused on research, evaluation, and sociology.
Good. Now, Mr. Thomas, you've never run for public office before. What brings you to this position now?
I appreciate that question, Dr. Molinar. I am very concerned about the precipitous situation that our islands are in. I think that many of the problems are old and the problems persist. We need innovative ideas. We need a passionate, creative minds and courage to address the problems that we have. And I believe that those are the characteristics that I bring. My vast experience, I have established and completed multiple projects that require those things.
Okay, so could you expand a little on what your experience has been that you believe you can bring to the Senate?
So I have written grants. I've been successful in writing grants. I was able to receive a $2.6 million grant that came through the Department of Education. Of that $2.6 million, I put aside $900,000 and actually wrote an RFP and led the implementation of a vital record system. The Department of Health had been trying to do that for 20 years. I'm going to be getting endorsement of persons who have worked with that and will speak to my leadership in getting that done. I've also been responsible for establishing the first student information system in the Virgin Islands. I am the creator and the one who created the Virgin Island Virtual Information System, a system that integrates data across multiple agencies. I've worked with the head of these agencies as well as directors in bringing this program to fruition.
So you're a man of many accomplishments, is what you're saying.
My accomplishments are many, and that can be spoken of. One of the critical things I did in that is created something called a governance program, where I established a council chaired by the governor, and all of the agencies that were sharing data, they acted, and they were the ones who established the policies and guided what that program would do. It requires great collaboration, and so there is no single mind that is bringing about the changes and bringing about what this system would do.
Mr. Thomas, what do you see as the 3 major issues facing us in the Virgin Islands now?
So our main policy-making body is our legislature. And because of that, the legislature, as well as the governor, but the legislature is really tasked with addressing at a very high level our problems. And I think that the lack of accountability in our legislature is a major problem.
Mm-hmm. What are 2 other areas?
I know that we need to grow our economy. Certainly our ballooning central government debt, and one cannot talk about issues without mentioning the GERS system. Every single person in this community will be affected adversely if we allow that system to fail.
So what ideas do you have for revenue generation?
In regards to revenue generation, and I have some other ideas, but in regards to revenue generation, one of my ideas that I know it will create wealth and grow our economy is I want to establish an initiative, and I would lead an initiative to establish a center where there will be administrative assistance. There will be the knowledge skills to deploy merchandise, to distribute merchandise, to procure merchandise, to build a web-based system or a web page where the best of the ability to market across the world would be provided to businesses that are existing and new businesses, so that the Virgin Islands businesses could have an internet presence. And the idea behind that is, in the Virgin Islands, if you're selling anything, you're only selling to 50,000 people. St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix. If you're on the web, you're selling to hundreds of millions. I think that's a sure way of creating wealth, bringing more revenues into the Virgin Islands. And it is an economic measure. That's one of my economic measures.
What did you think of the governor's measures for revenue generation that have been recently provided to the public?
Well, I completely disagree with the governor in terms of his measures. On one hand, I think the governor treats the public sector finances like his personal pocketbook. And so to me, it's like, so giving him additional revenues is like throwing water in a bucket that has holes in it. But on another serious policy note, the governor said we have a structural deficit, right? Well, a structural deficit suggests that our economy is doing very well, and that what he needs to do is cut expenses. I think we need to grow our economy, and we need to modernize our government. We need to reform our government. I'm proposing to digitize our government. We could digitize the collection of taxes. There are a lot of things that we could digitize that will create more transparency, increase revenues, and make our government significantly more efficient.
So were you in the legislature when the vote was taken? Would you have voted for or against the so-called sin tax?
I would not have supported the sin tax.
Why?
At this time, because I think it puts an undue burden on our businesses and our residents, when in fact we need to create initiatives to grow them and make them and cause them to improve their profits, so that they can hire people and actually bring revenues into our economy. I would not, the other thing is, like I said, the government need to, if I was a senator, before I give the governor those tax revenues, I would have looked at ways that we could reform the government and make it more efficient and save millions of dollars. I think that is the responsibility that the legislature abrogated. If I was there, certainly I would have done that.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on then from revenue generation to one of the other areas that you expressed concern for, the GERS. What do you see as the role the legislature could play in looking at this crisis?
Well, legislatures of the past have placed, unfunded mandates on the GERS system. They have created payouts without identifying funding for it. I would change the law where no law can be passed to increase benefits without identifying this specific revenue source. I believe, so before 2013, the state of Kentucky had the worst annuity system in the nation. And in 2013, they passed legislation that significantly redid their retirement system, and today their retirement system is sustainable. I would want to use some of those measures that Kentucky used, as well as to find other sources of revenues for the GERS system. I can tell you, the governor of Kentucky were able to make the government more efficient, and the savings was in fact put into their GERS system. And I think because he recognized how important a system like the GERS is to the economy. In fact, our GERS system is responsible for like $1 billion in our economy on an annual basis. That's not something that we should allow to fail. And I really want to warn our residents, those who are not government employees, that this is not a government employee problem. This is a everyone in the Virgin Islands problem. And it's dire. There's great urgency here. I'm not seeing the urgency on the part of neither the governor nor our elected representatives in the legislature. It's quite puzzling to me, and this is why I'm here. I want to use my skills, my experience. I have vast experience. I tell you, I've been endorsed by U.S. officials. I have a Facebook page. I'm inviting our viewers to search for Randolph L. Thomas on Facebook, and please peruse my page, share and like my page, please.
Now, Mr. Thomas, you have spoken about your business prowess. What ideas do you have as a senator that you could do to promote stronger relations between the public-private sector? Because as we know, those countries and cities that are successful are ones that have such bonding between the two.
So I have an excellent record of collaboration. And I know that collaborating helps to get things done. I'm going to share with you 3 areas of private-public partnership that I think could be beneficial to us. The Virgin Islands have a great history of marine activity that goes back hundreds of years. I think that we could use that history to do a museum or create an experience that will bring additional tourists to our destination. And that would be it's best to be a public-private partnership. I think that our private tourist businesses can also work with the government to improve the aesthetics of the island. The ride from the airport to town, that can be significantly improved. I don't think, and that can be a public-private partnership for not very much funds, as well as even the walk from the cruise ship, Crown Bay cruise ship landing into town.
Do you think, Mr. Thomas, that the territory is benefiting much from the EDC benefits that we are giving out to the businesses?
I know that there are some benefits there, and this is why I'm recommending the digitization of our government. Because with that digitization, we can say for certainly sure whether or not we are benefiting. I believe that most people who render an opinion on that are probably just guessing and offering an opinion. But we can easily digitize that activity and know for sure whether or not we're making any benefits and whether or not we need to change and what we need to change.
You've come up with a lot of solutions, but you haven't told us how you come up with these solutions. So you could say something about, can you say something about your approach to problem solving? How do you come up with ideas for solutions to the issues that we are discussing?
So I believe that part of my creativity has to do with my faith, actually. You know, I really take literally what the word says, where nothing is impossible. And I think for people who work with me, I think that's one of the things that amazes them, that many people will say it can be done, but I'll say it can be done. But after you say it can be done, of course, you have to apply. And so I also believe, and this is why collaboration is good, that everyone has something to offer. I believe in speaking to people and listening to people, because I believe that all of our solutions are right here in this society. Now, after the ideas, one needs to have the vision and the understanding to plan, execute, implement, results, monitoring, and accountability. So I think we often fail in execution, and I think that's where I have a great deal of experience, as evidenced by much of the projects that I have managed to come with success, as can be verified by the U.S. Department of Education and others in our society.
Good. Well, I'm certainly happy to hear that. And I want to thank you, Mr. Thomas, for sharing your thoughts with the voters, and I want to thank WTJX for this time. The League of Women of the Virgin Islands encourages all eligible voters to vote on April 8th. Those who come out to vote and can convince others to do the same help determine who our leaders will be. We have major issues in the Virgin Islands that require capable and informed leadership. Your vote can determine who will fill that vacant seat in our legislature. So I look forward to seeing you all at the polls on April 8th.